We have with us Mr. Micah Parker from Parker Capital Group. Parker Funding Group. They have been in the funding business for more than 25 years. They specialize in providing all different types of funding for business owners, including for real estate investors. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the main speaker, Mr. Micah Parker.
How's everybody doing?
Good, good.
All right, let me introduce myself a little bit more. Actually, I've been in business since 2002, full-time, made a decision to leave my corporate American job, pursue what I believe God had called me to do. I'll go ahead, I don't want to say my age, but I made the decision that I didn't want to trade my time for dollars for the rest of my life and wait till I got 60 years of age and say, I wonder what would have happened if I really went for it. So my background was real strong in real estate. I've been on both sides of it now. I'm actually providing financing for people who want to get into real estate investing. But what allowed me to get in a position to do business full time was real estate investing. Read a book by Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I made a decision that I wanted to create some passive streams of income. And in a 12-month period of time, I went out and bought over 21 rental units. And at that particular time, that put me in a position to earn a six-figure income. And then got inspired. People at the church and people in the community had a radio broadcast, wanted to learn how to do the same thing. So I started an organization and created a program called Real Estate Investment Made Easy, a faith-based approach to helping people build wealth in real estate. So we did that for quite a while until the recession happened and we made a transition and I decided to sell off my property. So I've been on the side that many of you are, buying properties, fixing them up, flipping them, dealing with tenants who don't want to always pay rent all the time, being in the district courts, dealing with people and attorneys of that nature. But so I've done a lot of different things in business. I've been in business overall for 25 years, but I just recently added the business funding side not too long ago because I saw so many people having challenges getting the financing they need, whether they wanted to get startup capital or real estate investment capital. So what I'm going to do, I thought we might have had a screen so I could put my PowerPoint up there. So I put it on my phone, so I'm going to have to kind of glance down because I don't have it memorized. I won't be talking before you very long, but I want to kind of give you some of the things that are available, whether you're a beginning real estate investor or a seasoned real estate investor. My job, I'm a business loan broker. I'm not an underwriter. If I don't have an answer to any question you ask, that's just a phone call or email away for me to get your information to you. And so I would love to have a conversation with you if you want to look at some of our real estate investment programs. So what we have are several different options. We obviously do beginning real estate investment. So we got fix and flip properties, we got ground up construction, we have bridge loans, but our pretty much our format is single family resident homes, none owner occupied, from single family up to a 4-unit or a 4-plex. If you're looking for a mixed use commercial property outside of that, I can stretch outside of my normal lending group and work with some other colleagues and possibly make it happen for you as well. One of the other things that I like here is, I was talking to the gentleman here, he said he's interested in real estate. Do we have anything available for beginning real estate investors? We absolutely do. One of the things that I like about what I do is when I talk to a lot of people who go to the banks or their credit union, the underwriting criteria is very stringent. And if you don't check all of those boxes, you're going to a lot of times get a rejection. And so what I love is that we have flexibility. What you're going to get with us is speed and flexibility. So it's not just one way to try to make the deal happen. We've got a lot of great people who can make it happen. What I like about it, I work with a lot of direct lenders. So not only am I working with the direct lenders, but we also have an underwriting department in the same house. So we don't have to wait a long time for communication to happen. We can get issues resolved right quick. And typically, in a lot of situations, we can get you from application to the closing table in many cases in 1 to 2 weeks. And so that removes a lot of the longevity, and you're going through 3 or 4 weeks of process, it jumps through a bunch of hula hoops, and then you get a rejection. So I like about how we're doing that. Real quick example on the business side, right now I'm working with a business owner, and within 48 hours I had approval for him. So speed and flexibility is what we're looking for with our lending programs. So from an experienced investor, not only can you get into the game with us, but because you've had, let's say we're talking about fix and flip like you talked about, if you've got experience, you're doing 2 to 4 in the last 24 or 36 months, you're going to get a higher loan to value ratio when you apply for financing than someone who comes in who's not seasoned. So that's one of the advantages that you're going to have as an experienced investor as well. We also offer what we call our 30-year DSCR. So what we're looking for now is not necessarily looking at how much money you make on your job. We don't need a lot of docs for that, so we do no income verification. We don't need the W-2 pay stub forms. We're looking at, does this building, does this home, does this duplex, does it bring in enough revenue to easily cover the monthly payment? For example, if it's bringing in $2,000 a month and your mortgage on it is $1,500 and that's a $500 a month cash flow, that at least meets that minimum qualification. And so from that there, okay, phone, don't be start messing up on me now while I'm trying to show it. Let me kind of just read over some of the highlights here. The advantages with our DSCR loan program is, one, we're going to have competitive rates to many of our lending partners. We have the ability to close within 1 to 2 weeks. We also offer blanket loans, and in some lenders, it's unlimited what you can do with that. Every lender is different, but we also offer blanket loans as well, so you got one mortgage for multiple properties under that umbrella. We also have, as I just said, no experience is required, no income check, no tax returns, no work history. Typically on this right here is 80% loan to value on purchases and rate term refinances, 600 minimum FICO score. Depending on which lender we use, there may be a prepayment penalty for 5 years, and it'll decrease by 1% each year, but every lender is different. This particular lender here, the maximum loan amount is $2 million. We do have some programs for experienced investors where we can go up to $5 million or more. So it just depends on what we're trying to do. Something here that I don't think it qualifies for anybody here, but foreign nationals are also eligible. So if you are not a U.S. citizen, but you want to buy some good property in the United States, we can offer financing for you as well. And so what I like about this particular program is this statement right here. Our DSCR loans allow many real estate investors to qualify based primarily on the property's rental income rather than their personal income. Such as I just said, no W-2s are required, no tax returns by many lenders, making them a popular option choice for rental property acquisition or overall portfolio growth. Ground-up construction financing is also available. Some of the features with that are we offer 12 to 24-month terms. We also offer an interest-only option payment, so you got minimum payments while you're building that project vertically from the ground up. Loan to value must meet minimum requirements. Financing is available for qualified land and construction costs. We can also close in those cases there in 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the program we use. And that's what we have with that there. Fix and flip bridge loans. What's going on with that there? We have 12-month loans, extension programs available. We also offer interest-only payment options with that, which we call non-Dutch. Competitive rates through lending partners. We also offer up to 80% the purchase price, but we also will give you an option of 100% of the renovation costs, which I think is a big advantage. Once again, we can do the bridge loans with no experience required, no income check, no tax returns, no work history. And this one here, you can go as low as a 600 minimum credit score, and that fluctuates depending upon the lender we use, and we have the ability to close in 1 to 2 weeks with that as well. One more here. Typical submission requirements, pretty straightforward. Loan application, your government ID. We may do a credit report ahead of time, or we may allow our direct lender to do that for you. Bank statements, just your basic documentation, property information. If you're going to put it into an LLC, we need to see those entity requirements. And then once we get that information, then my underwriting team will review it and then let us know what's the next steps are. So it's a pretty smooth process from there. And why lend with us? Number one, we're going to have access to more than just one lender. So unlike if I was a loan broker or a loan officer with one traditional bank, I'm focused only on what's available in that one institution. I have the ability to step outside of just one lending pathway and find the best deal for you. Speed and flexibility is what our advantage is, so you're not going to be sitting there on a treadmill waiting for 3 to 6 weeks to find out are you going to get a yes or not. We got a very responsive, a very receptive team, and so my job is to take you from the starting point to the finish line, because then it's a win-win situation. Wrapping up everything, as I just said, Parker Funding Group, our job is to say yes when banks say no. We work real hard to do that. And so we have both sides of the equation covered here. So if you are looking for the real estate investment financing, we've got many options available for that. If you're a business and you need startup capital, equipment financing, working capital, or SBA loan, we have opportunities for that as well. The name of my company is Parker Funding Group, parkerfundinggroup.com, and I can open it up for any questions at this time. Yes, sir.
I heard you mention DSCR, and I've heard that term before. What does that stand for?
Debt service.
I need you to repeat the question and then answer.
Okay. You wanted to know what DSR stands for? Debt service coverage ratios. In other words, a lot of traditional lending institutions is looking at your personal ability to pay a mortgage on a duplex or a fourplex. The beauty with this particular program is that if you buy a 3-unit building and it's cash flowing $700 a month, then that's more than enough money. They're going to look at that as an asset versus how much money you make on your job. So it really opens up the door not only for beginning investors, but experienced investors to really expand their capacity to get properties, because it's not based upon, do I make $80,000 a year on my job? I've been there for 20 years. Unlike in some other traditional institutions will have that program, but their underwriting requirements are going to be a lot more tougher than ours. Yes, sir.
With that DSCR, for the single family versus multifamily, do you guys refinance 80% for duplexes too or multifamilies?
Yeah, we can do up to 80% financing.
80,
Yeah,
okay.
and it depends on the lender, but I did see that. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So so this question was, can we do a refinance up to 80% for a duplex or a threeplex? Yes.
So,
Yes, sir.
So if I find a multi-unit home for sale and the owner has tenants and say it's cash, I mean not cash flow, but it's bringing in income, say 4,000 just so.
Gross income,
I
4,000.
can come to you and say, hey, I want to purchase this property. This is the money that, this is the money that it brings in every month. Then I'll tell you what the price is, and if the numbers work, you can make it happen.
If the numbers work, that's the first key. Is it actually making a profit? So it's
Right.
bringing in this amount of money after all of your expenses are paid. Excuse me, what's the net profit or cash flow?
Right.
And so from that standpoint, you got your property identification. We may need an appraisal,
Right.
but we got the basic information. Obviously, you're going to do a credit report on you, and then we fill out the rest of the documentation. If there's any other thing we need, my underwriting team will let me know. But
Okay.
the main thing is, does the property make profit?
What was
You
the
know, so
question?
that's what they're looking at, because with that particular program, they're not looking at your personal income from General Motors or DTE or whatever it might be. Is this particular cash flowing asset bringing in more than enough revenue to satisfy the note?
What was the question?
The question was, if he wants to buy, I think he said a duplex, and it was bringing in $4,000 a month or whatever it was, as long as the numbers make sense, it's actually making cash flow, can we finance the deal? That puts you in a strong position for me to say yes.
So now, do I need any money out of pocket
Yes, yes.
to come to
And,
the
and that would
table?
depend upon, we finance up to 80%.
Okay.
Yeah, so that means 20% would have to come down from you.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're an experienced investor, you might be able to go, you're gonna get a higher loan to value ratio. So it all depends on your experience level, your credit profile as well. Yes,
The house has to be livable too, right?
pardon me?
The house has to be livable, right?
Well, yeah, we talking about a fix and flip, so you can buy
What
distressed
part of the
properties.
DSCR?
You can buy, well, yeah, in that particular case, yeah. In other words, you're just doing a fix and flip, which is different than the DSR program. So you're buying a property that's distressed, and then you're financing it to rehab it, that's a different program. But yeah, we still can do up to 80% LTV on that. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a commercial property and I bought the lot next door and I want to put a parking lot in. So if I can come to you and say, hey, this is what I want to do. I have a triple storefront, but I can't utilize all 3 storefronts because I don't have the available parking. So I bought the lot next door. So I want to do put a parking lot in?
Parking lot would be what we call horizontal construction. We're more so vertical, building up from that, housing and building, so I'm not sure if our programs would cover that.
What was the question?
The question was whether or not we could provide financing to put a parking lot in.
Right.
And so that would be considered like ground horizontal. You're not building a structure on that. So if you had land already that you own and you're trying to build a fourplex on that, then yeah, that's called vertical
Right.
construction. That's different, yes.
So there's no scenario that
I don't have any lending options for that.
I'd like to
Yes.
follow up with you on
Yep,
that.
yep, no, I don't have it. We can do a lot, but that's not my will right now.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
All right, and I apologize, you might have answered this in your presentation, but if a person wants more than a 4-unit, like let's say a small 10 or 12 unit apartment building, do you guys have financing options for that?
I have some people I can reach out to because I knew our primary wheelhouse is single family to 4 units, so I asked some people about that. So if you've got something like that, I'm pretty sure we can find a way to make it happen. It's just not what we focus on every day. But I have access to hundreds, if not thousands, of different people who have even more outlets than I do. So they already let me know if you need help in that area, just contact them.
What was the question?
The question was if we had to get financing for something beyond 4 units, is it possible? And it is definitely possible. I can find a way to make that happen, or I'll do my very best to. Any other questions?
Can you tell us how to reach you again?
You can reach me, my phone number, excuse me, is 313-908-8898. The name of my company is parkerfundinggroup.com. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on LinkedIn, and you can just Google the name, parkerfundinggroup.com. Love to have a conversation with you. We can easily do it over the phone. And a few questions, get the process rolling. And I'm a tiger as far as trying to take something from the beginning to the end. So I'm going to do my very best to try to make it happen for you.
All
right.
I have another question.
Yes, sir.
Collateral, does that play a part in being able to get funding? Say if everything else considered, say if you don't have the 20%, you can look at somebody's portfolio and say, well, this person's experience, we can trust them with our money. You know what I'm saying? Do you have something like that?
I would have to contact my lending team, my underwriting team on that, but I think pretty much 20% down is 20% down. Yeah, they're not looking at what's in your 401k. They're looking at, we have to have 20% going down to make this transaction. We're going to give you 80%, but we need 20% down. So to restate his question, when he asked me whether or not if he had other collateral but didn't have 20% to put down, so he may have a strong IRA or 401k, but in this particular case here, I'm pretty much sure you're going to need to have a way of putting the 20% down at closing, because they're going to come in with the other 80%. Yes.
The more deals someone does with you, do they get a better rate? So for example, the first time they might get a 15 or whatever, but then 2 or 3 deals down the road, they might get a better rate.
So the question was, the more deals that we do for someone, will they get a better rate? That will put you in what we call our experience category, and I have some different outlets for that. And so with that yes, the more experience you have, the more they can trust you. It's just that simple because it lessens the risk. So you're going to get a higher loan to value ratio. You're going to get an opportunity to do larger deals if you want to, and you're going to get a more competitive rate. So yes, the more frequently that we work with someone, the underwriting team obviously knows you. They see that you've been successful doing fix and flips, or you've been successful buying property, just renting it out for cash flow. Now you want another one 3 months later. You want another one 9 months later. This person, this man, this woman knows what they're doing, so they've got confidence working with you.
Okay. I think you might have answered this one again, but I had this question come up quite a bit. First time fix and flippers. You can help them. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, I think real estate is one of the best vehicles for anybody to get into. Like I said, that's what gave me my opportunity to leave my corporate American job, was real estate investing. I always wanted to do it. and I sold pretty much all of them off. But it's something that, as I heard one person say, whether you're poor, middle class, or rich, everybody will need a place to stay. And so I always remembered that. And so now the rental rates are much higher than they were 15, 20 years ago. So if you get an opportunity to get some properties getting well below market value, as I always used to say, and have your cash flow at a certain point per door, per unit, you're in a good position. Yes, sir.
When is the crash gonna happen?
What's that?
The crash, it's gonna be another crash. So these prices are going, they're out of the,
Yeah, I mean, prices go up and down. When I got involved in real estate investing, a lot of mine were multi-units. I had no idea how I was going to reach my goal to generate a $3,000 a month residual income in 12 months. I just knew I was going to start the race. And so it was interesting. I started looking at the newspaper. We don't do that now.
right.
But I would look at the Sunday newspaper every day and look at for sale by owners and multi-units. And I just started driving neighborhoods, and you would see for rent signs and for sale by owner signs. And I think my first opportunity was a single family home or a 6-unit building. And it was interesting how I played out. I ended up going 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A 6-unit, 5-unit, 4-unit, 3-unit, 2-unit single family home. And that got me to a point where I can say, realistically, I can walk away from my job. And so, but when you talk about the crash, I remember where insurance, commercial insurance, was at a certain point at that time, but in like 3 to 5 years, it almost doubled. And so then it got very difficult to rent the properties out when the recession hit and all of that. So having strong cash reserves, having a business line of credit is helpful when you encounter those times. So that's why I love what I do as far as helping business owners get business lines of credit as a standby as well. So you're not depleting your personal cash when the unexpected happens. If we don't control the market, we just got to be able to adapt quickly when it does change. Yes, sir.
Since that gentleman mentioned the crash, a lot of hard money lenders, and I don't know if that's the category you fall under, but a lot of hard money lenders, funding dried up, a lot of them went out of business in 08. Did your funding sources, were they still available?
We have access to hard money lenders. Actually, I work in what they call the alternative lending industry. And so therefore, we've got access to direct lenders and hard money lenders as well. And so even during COVID, our industry still was able to, businesses always need financing. People need money. The question is where you're going to get it and how much is it going to cost, how long will it take? And so the advantage that you have working with someone like myself is that we don't have to go through the same long-winded underwriting process that your traditional big ivory tower banks do. So.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, can you speak privately and consult someone, they have it, afterwards or any other time?
I can barely hear your question.
I said, I have a question, but I'd like to, and it's more.
Can you come closer just so I can hear, right?
I said I have a question, but I'd like to ask it personally.
Oh, okay, sure, yes.
So you do like a consultation?
I can talk with you after here.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, yes.
All right.
Anything? Yes, sir.
You said like business lines of credit and stuff like that. Are those variable rates or are they fixed?
Business line of credit, it depends. Most of them will be fixed, but it all depends on what we set you up with. We've got some business lending options where we might do a 0% credit card option up to 18 months. So you're going to get the ability to get $25,000 to $50,000 of business funding accessible to you 0 to 18 for 12 to 18 months. So it all depends on your credit situation, your business profile, how we go about doing that from a business perspective.
That sounds like a personal guarantor, not.
Pardon me?
Is that like personal
It
guarantor?
all depends on the lenders. We have to look at what your situation is.
Okay.
Yep.
when you say personal guarantee, you're talking about not using your own credit.
Using your personal credit.
Yeah, they're looking at your personal credit with these here. Yep.
But I mean, as far as the reporting.
It's going to show up on your credit report. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yep. Any other questions? All right. If there's no other questions, I thank you for this time and opportunity.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Micah. We really appreciate you coming out, sharing the information with us.
Okay.
Repeat your phone number for us one more time.
313-908-8898. If you need a card, I got one for you.
Okay. And again, just want to remind everybody, we really appreciate Nicholas for letting us use this space. So please, if you haven't ordered yet, please order something, because we would like to be able to come back here again. Thank you very much.